Is there a song that you just love sitting down to play?
Well,
Because you've got so many.
sometimes I enjoy the newer stuff more just because it feels more fresh and more recent. But the old standbys like Ordinary People and All of Me, they still mean a lot to me. And I still love when I perform them live and I hear the crowd singing them back to me. It's really powerful.
There's not a song that you go, oh no, I can't be bothered.
No, I actually, any song that I choose to sing at my shows is something I'm proud to sing at my shows, and I know it'll make my fans happy, and I enjoy making them happy. Even songs that I've played every single show since I wrote them, I don't get tired of them.
In the shower, sing your own hits? Or
I definitely don't sing my own songs in the shower, unless I'm in the writing process.
Right.
So when I'm still making an album, I'm singing my own stuff, I'm listening to it, refining it, honing it, and then once I put it out, I almost never listen to it again. The only exception is I've listened to the Christmas album a lot because my daughter requests it all the time, and she wants to dance to it, and she always requests Daddy's Christmas music. She says, I want to hear Daddy's Christmas music, let's go dance. And so I listen to myself all the time with my daughter, just the Christmas album.
Does she think everybody's daddy's a singer?
I have no idea what she thinks yet about that. I think she probably doesn't have a lot of perspective about what other people's dads do. Yeah. But she's clear about the fact that, you know, her mom and dad are on TV sometimes, and I do concerts, and she's been to the concert, she's seen us on TV. I don't know that she realizes that that's not a normal thing.
Yeah. Is there a thought down the line where you think, maybe we need to have the conversation and just sort of explain things?
I think it'll just happen. She'll figure it out. She goes to school. She already has peers. So, you know, as their vocabulary develops a little bit more, she'll understand that there's differences between what her parents do and what other people's parents do. Yeah.
Also, of course, well, her dad just happens to be one of 15 people in the world who's an EGOT. Yeah. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Now, am I right in thinking you're the youngest and the first African American?
I was well, there's a lot of caveats. So apparently I'm the second youngest to win it competitively, and the first African American man to win it competitively. But there are also other people that have all 4 awards, but some of them they didn't win competitively, so they got like an honorary Oscar, an honorary.
Doesn't count.
So there are only 15 individuals on Earth that have won all 4 competitively, and I'm the first African American man to have done so. Really, it reminds me of all the things that have led to this moment, all the fun productions I've been a part of, all the fun people I've been able to collaborate with, and brilliant people I've been able to work with, and I'm really grateful.
Does it change things in terms of who you can work with or how easy it is to get things done?
No, it doesn't change anything because I think whatever status I had in the world, I had it before the EGOT. It just kind of was the final seal of approval, but I already was who I was before. I already had my production company. We were already working with great people in TV and film, and of course I've collaborated with some of the best people in music over my career. So yeah, I think it just kind of added a little extra sheen to everything, but I don't think it dramatically changed my positioning in the business or anything.
I love the fact that with the Grammys last weekend, and of course then Chrissy had, talk about trying to pull you down, EGOT, then EGOT lazy.
He got lazy. Yeah, I didn't have anything to do with the Grammys this year, and the only nomination we had was for the cast album for Jesus Christ Superstar, and they do that one before it's televised. So there was really no point in me going, and so we watched at home, and I caught a little nap before we watched at home. So yeah, she got a good tweet out of it.
she certainly did. Now let's talk about the new single.
Yes.
And the video that goes with Preach.
Yeah.
It is so powerful.
Thank you. So the song's called Preach, and we were really inspired last year to write this song, and we wrote it before I did the Christmas album and before that whole campaign, but I wanted to wait and put it out till after that was all done. But we wrote it last year. We were responding to, you listen to some of the lines in the song, and we talk about can't just sit and hope and pray, that we need to do something, you know. And we were responding partly to the young people we saw marching in the March for Our Lives, the kids from Parkland, who were responding to what's become too regular of an occurrence in America, these mass shootings. And we've seen these scenes play out, you know, week after week. It seems like there's something major that happens in this country that used to be shocking, but it isn't even shocking anymore. And every time it happens, we go through the same ritual where all the politicians say, my thoughts and prayers are with the families and the victims, and then they just go back and never do anything about it. And so this song is basically saying we don't need any more thoughts and prayers, we need action. We also looked at officer-involved shootings. We also looked at separation of families at the border as issues that were part of the kind of the nightmare of the news that we see sometimes. And we talk in the song about how one inclination is to want to turn your phone off. You know, I don't want to see this news. I don't want to engage with this. And then another, you know, inclination is to just talk about it and not do anything about it. But of course, based on my life and who I am, and based on what we think will actually make change happen, we say you got to do more than disengage. Got to do more than just talk about it. You got to do something. And we closed the video with a scene that was really inspired by what happened here in Los Angeles. In response to the really cruel policy of separating families at the border, some of the protesters were clergy members who ended up getting arrested in the streets of Los Angeles for protesting. And the final scene in the video is kind of inspired by that moment in Los Angeles where those clergymen were arrested. And they were literally living the fact that you can't just preach about it. You have to do something. And they did it. And so we wanted to kind of pay homage to that in the final scene of the video and tie it directly to the lyric of the song that you can't just preach.
Do you feel that the world seems to be on a tilt at the moment? It's such a weird time. It's
an odd time. And, you know, obviously, there are a lot of, you know, concerns in the world right now. But part of me is optimistic, and part of me also looks at the data where, you know, the world's more peaceful than it's been in a long time. The world's been through world wars that we lost tens of millions of people. None of that is happening right now, and so that's a good thing. Yeah. A lot of diseases that we've been fighting for a long time have been eradicated. A lot of progress has been made on major issues. Poverty is down, extreme poverty is down. And you know, literacy rates are up, and all these other indicators of better societal health are actually better. And so part of me is like, you know, we should be optimistic and realize that people's actions actually meant something. People taking initiative, nonprofits, governments who have put their efforts into making the world better. Some of those efforts have actually paid off. And so we shouldn't be completely pessimistic about the world, because action, when we have the will to actually make change happen, those actions can actually make a difference. And so that's part of the inspiration for this song too, that it's not enough to just be despondent about the news, because if you actually take action, things can change.
Yeah. I often wonder as well, from an artist's point of view, that it's that fine line, isn't it, between doing what you do, which is brilliant, singing, writing, and then not being too, for want of a better description, preachy. So I just wonder how it is you navigate that fine line.
Yeah, and I think it's a challenge, and I think it's all about the art, and can you make the art compelling and beautiful and listenable, and if you have a message in the art, making a message that people actually still want to listen to. If you can't do that, then you can make the art all you want, but nobody's going to listen, and it's not going to have any impact. So I think it's important for us as artists to still make, you know, compelling, beautiful music, and if it has a message in it, at least package the message in a way that is palatable and listenable for your audience. And if we're able to do that, and you know, the audience will decide, you know. If we're able to do that, then the music can have an impact.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the words are amazing, but the actual video itself just gets home that message, because it just starts off like a normal-ish, you know, there you are with Chrissy, and then suddenly we see your thoughts, and then that last shot is just so unbelievably powerful.
Yeah, thank you.
And you had to do an extra day shooting for that?
Well, yeah, because I was so inspired by that moment. We didn't capture that in the first day of shooting. And I was like, this video can't be complete without doing a scene that's so inspired by that moment when the clergymen were arrested. because if the lyric is "I can't just preach," I feel like it's just like it's obviously waiting for us right there. We've got to have that shot where we say, you know, these preachers, these interfaith ministers were able to call attention to this issue outside of the church, outside of the synagogue, outside of wherever they worship. They were able to draw attention to this issue by putting themselves on the line. And I wanted to show that in the video.
The later side of things, when this goes out, it'll actually be Valentine's, well, it'll be the day after. So Valentine's Day,
yes.
Come on, there's a bit of pressure on you. Did you have to write a new song for Chrissy? Come on, what'd you do?
No, I didn't write a new song. We just went on a really beautiful date, and we went up to wine country here in California, and we celebrated together.
Now, you haven't got into trouble about songs that you've written about her, but I did love the bit when I read about her ugly feet. Is this true? Is this true?
No, I don't. First of all, I don't think her feet are ugly. She has a complex about them, but I think they're gorgeous. They're different, you know. She gets it from her mother, and you know, she's kind of
not that you're saying a mother's got ugly feet.
No. They're just differently shaped, and I think they're beautiful.
And how was it you put in the song that you referred to as angles?
I love your curves and all your edges.
Edges, that's
yes.
it.
And for me, edges was more like metaphorical, where you know she has an edgy personality.
Yeah.
And, she's not the most timid or meek person, and so that was me being more metaphorical when I used that word edges. But, you know, she took it more literally to mean her angular feet.
Oh. And, no, she shares a lot. And
yes.
you both guys share a lot.
Yes.
Are you ever at times thinking, we've got to pull this back? Or you just think, that's the way we are?
We hold back plenty, by the way. There's plenty you all don't see. And I think everyone's social media is, you know, an edited version of who they are. You know, we show plenty of who we are, and I think it's an honest portrayal, but it's not complete, of course, and I don't think anyone's social media should be. You have to keep some moments to yourself.
Again, working with Chrissy. Lip sync.
Yes.
and wigs. We've got to talk about wigs here, John.
So I got to be Chrissy's, you know, spokesperson on one night at Lip Sync Battle because it was actually the same day I won the EGOT because I got the final piece of the EGOT puzzle, which was the Emmy for Jesus Christ Superstar. That same day, she had to tape an episode of Lip Sync Battle, and her voice was gone. And she was like, I don't know if we can do the show. My voice is gone. And she was like, you know what? I'm just going to whisper things in your ear, and you're going to sing them for me. And I was like, let's do it. It'll be funny. It'll be great for the show. And we did it. We had a good time. I wore a wig. Fun was had by all.
It's not the first time you've worn a wig, is it?
No, my daughter had me put on her Ariel wig at the house. She loves dressing up like Disney princesses, and she wanted to get me in on it.
Do you think? I think there's a little star in the making there too, isn't there?
Who knows? I mean, she loves to dance. She's got a really big personality, and she's very talkative and very bright as far as I can tell. So who knows what Luna will do? We want to, you know, leave all the possibilities open for her, whether it's in our business or something a little bit more under the radar. I'll be happy to just help her dream big and help her try to live out whatever her dreams are.
That's great. So you wouldn't encourage her either way?
I would encourage her to do what she really loves and what excites her. And if she wants to be in show business, you know, I'll give her the scoop both ways, you know, the good and the bad. Yeah. And if she really wants to do it, then I'll support her.
The career has been phenomenal. Has there been one moment? Was it the EGOT? Is that the defining moment so far, or was there another moment that you go, yeah? That
was really special, and it was kind of the culmination of a lot of things that have happened over the last 15 years in my career, and it was a really powerful moment. I think another big moment for me was winning the Oscar, actually, just a couple blocks from here. We sang Glory. We paid homage to those who marched in Selma for voting rights, and it was one of the most powerful performances I've ever done in my career, and you could see the emotion on the faces of everybody in the audience, and it was such a powerful moment. And then right after that, they came back from commercial, and awarded us for Song of the Year. And it was such a powerful moment. I'll never forget it, and that is another defining moment in my career.
Could you look out? Could you see the faces in the audience?
I couldn't see all of them. I saw afterwards on social media, people kind of captured a lot of the emotion in the room, and it was really powerful. And you know, I was proud to be part of that film. Ava DuVernay made a beautiful film, and of course that film was an homage to the actual activists that were out there on the streets, putting their lives on the line so that we could have voting rights. And as a lot of Americans know, voting rights are still up for debate right now. The Voting Rights Act was gutted by the Supreme Court several years ago, and there were a lot of states that responded to that by restricting voting rights for a lot of people, and they usually targeted at minority groups and young people. And so we don't really have the complete right to vote in this country, free of suppression, free of discouragement from the government. And I think we still need to fight for that.
It may sound a silly question. Have you ever written a bad song? Have you ever written one?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, bad is, you know, a harsh term. But I definitely written songs that I wouldn't put out.
You just go, whoa.
Yeah, you know, you finish it, and you're just like, there's no salvaging this. It's not going to make the album. It's nothing great about it. And it might not be terrible, but it's not good enough. And so you just don't put it out. I write lots of songs for my albums that don't make it. Yeah. And some of them are pretty good, but they just don't fit. But some of them, you know, just not that great.
What was the very first song that you sat down at the piano and sang or wrote?
Oh, I have no recollection. It's been so long. It happened when I was, you know, probably 5 or 6 years old. Yeah. I was taking piano lessons when I was 4, and I probably started writing songs maybe when I was 6 or 7. You know, they were terrible probably, but they were my attempts at, you know, expressing myself at the time. But I don't remember the exact first song I started playing.
And I want to know, in terms of the Emmy and the Grammy and the Oscar and the Tony, do you have them in the order?
I don't. They're all in the same. They're all in the same, you know, shelf area. Yeah. But they're not, you know, in order like EGOT. There's a lot of Grammys to deal with. There's 10 of those, so we have to kind of space them out.
Problems, eh?
Yes,
Problems.
yes.
Problems.
Very much a
well,
rough life.
Congratulations. This single, the video is superb. What would you say is the brief message that you would like people to take from this?
That change is possible, and don't give up on the fact that you can actually make the world better. That's really what it's about. I think it's an encouragement for people, even though, you know, sometimes it feels like we're in dark times. We can actually make the world better, and I've been a part of movements that have been able to do that, and it's possible, and we shouldn't get too discouraged that we don't get out there and do something.